Republican strategist and CBS News contributor Frank Luntz led a focus group discussion yesterday in Pennsylvania, and our cameras were there. Many participants once supported Donald Trump, but don't support him now. How did Trump lose them, and can he regain their support?
How many of you in this room are supporting Donald Trump right now? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of you at some point in the campaign at least lean towards Donald Trump? Raise your hands. Almost all of you. So what happened?
He was my first choice, but just along the way, he is, I guess I can say he's lost me. I'm not saying there's no chance of turning, but he's become outrageous. I mean, we all have thoughts, but I think he speaks without thinking.
When he initially began to run, he gave voice to a lot of the frustrations that I was feeling about how government is working, or more to the point, not working. But since then, he's been running as a 12-year-old and changes his positions every news cycle, so you don't even know where he stands on the issues.
I almost think the last couple of weeks he might be second-guessing this, because he even said yet like a week ago, it's okay if I'm not the president. And then he's just throwing out all these bizarre comments. So I'm wondering, is he serious still about it?
Whenever somebody makes a derogatory comment to him, like in a Democratic convention, Trump feels like he needs to attack that person, and he says things that are crazy, and I keep asking myself, is this the kind of person I want to handle the nuclear codes?
And what's the answer?
No way.
I think the traction that he first got was because of the issues that he chose to focus on. I think he didn't realize that it was his issues that were drawing people. His personality, sure. I mean, everyone knows Donald Trump, and he's flamboyant. But the more he made it about his personality, the less likely that I'm to vote for him. And it seems like everyone else is going in the same direction here, who started out as Trump but has moved away. Now, the last couple of weeks, I've seen kind of a pivot back to the issues, and that gives me a little bit more hope for him. But he's yo-yoed back and forth so many times, I need to see a little bit more.
How many of you would still consider voting for him in the fall? Raise your hands if it's a possibility for you. And so more than half of you. So what does he have to do?
He's got to get back to the issues and solve the problems. You know,
No, he can't solve it.
Well,
he's running for president.
He
can't
not
do
solve
anything.
it, but he's got to at least give us a plan of what he, some kind of plan of action of what he would like to do.
He's already done the economic plan. He's already done the national security plan. What do you want?
I want him to talk more about that and stop attacking people and acting erratic.
I think we're looking for leadership that inspires all of us to be greater than ourselves. So I'm looking for the things that he says that are scripted, even the teleprompter that he makes fun of, but now he uses, but also the unscripted things like the debates. And let's see how he reacts under pressure when he has to one-on-one with Hillary.
He's so busy focusing on what he wants to say and trying to, I guess, impress people. And I think right now we're not I think initially being authentic was great, but now he's being a little too authentic. Like now he's giving us too much of himself. He needs to pull back a little bit.
Don't you think you have the right to know who he really is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, you do have the right to know that, but I think no one gives you 100% of themselves, especially at this stage.
But don't you want 100%?
I want his best foot forward. It's a job interview. This is not how you would behave when you're going to a job interview, by throwing tantrums and calling the interviewer names, or the other applicants.
How can you have such a negative impression of him and still consider casting your ballot for him? Please explain it.
Because the other candidate is unfavorable in my estimation, and I don't have another choice, and I don't want to give up my vote, because I think that it would be worse not to vote.
We're now to the point where the showmanship is over. We want to see some policy details. We want to see that you have a staff, that you're going to have a cabinet. I think those are important choices, because the president is not by himself. The president is led by a lot of good advisors. I haven't seen any good advisors yet.
The party is voting against, or doesn't want him to be nominated.
You think the Republicans are against him?
Yes, the Republicans. I mean, his own party is not, totally supporting him.
And why do you think that is?
Because of his outrageousness. I think they find it embarrassing.
Do you?
At times, yes. Because it's hard to comprehend. For me, it's hard to understand also, like with all this going on and all the negative feedback, why his team isn't reeling him in or explaining to him the damage that he is doing by the way he's acting.